Alright guys, I'm here with a bit of information for Dragon Ball Legends. So, we didn't get reveals and stuff or anything of the sort, but the official Dragon Ball Legends Twitter accounts tweeted out the next Ultra unit that we'll be getting in the game, and as you guys have seen in the thumbnail, the title, or if you're just watching the video right now, you know that the new Ultra unit is none other than Ultra TURLES. So, it's about time, right? I'm glad that he has an Ultra unit. It took a while to, give us this unit, but anyway, I did record my reaction to the trailer, so check that out first, and then we'll break down what TURLES can do. Alright, let's see who it is. Although, it probably is obvious. Pod, TURLES Crusher Core. Yeah, so it's Ultra TURLES. But this ink brush animation's clean, though. Okay. Okay, TURLES. Soon the fruit will blossom, and we will reap what we have sown, yeah. It's TURLES. There's the fruit of the tree of might. Okay, Ultra TURLES. Show us what you can do. As long as he's clean, then I'm happy. Let's see. Okay, took the cape off. Okay, TURLES. Okay. But yeah, it's... I'm just glad that we finally got a new TURLES after so many years. Whoa, that move was cool.
Not bad, but...
Wait, what? Wait, did he just activate that after the blast?
It's over.
I don't... Okay, maybe he did. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just happy that we got a new TURLES after so many years. It's been forever since we had a new unit.
No one stands
He put the cape back on. Not bad. Alright, so at least we got a new TURLES to go with the TURLES Crusher Core tag, so I'm totally fine with that. So now that we've seen what he can do, let's break it down. So we're gonna skip all the yellow summarizations to actually break down absolutely everything. So again, we have Ultra TURLES. He is Element Blue. Character tags, Saiyan, Powerful Opponent, and TURLES Crusher Core, and episode sagas from the movies. I figured that he'd be a blue unit, especially because the TURLES Crusher Core technically does come with the blue unit, but you have to swap from yellow to blue. They didn't have a dedicated blue unit, so it made sense that TURLES was going to be a blue unit, because that kind of completes, actually that does complete that entire tag. So that's good, we can live with that. Z ability 3, 1, plus 28% to episode sagas from the movies, base, strike, and blast defense during battle. 2, plus 30% to episode sagas from the movies or tag powerful opponent, base, strike, and blast defense during battle. 3, plus 3% to ultimate and awaken damage inflicted by episode sagas from the movies, and plus 38% to episode sagas from the movies or tag powerful opponent, base, strike, and blast defense during battle. And 4, plus 5% to ultimate and awaken damage inflicted by episode sagas from the movies, and plus 42% to episode sagas from the movies, or tag powerful opponent, base, strike, and blast defense during battle. Okay, now, I don't know how to feel about this, right? Because on one end, the tags that he's boosting is good, right? It is good, 100%. Well, actually, you know what? I kind of take it back, because I was gonna say it makes no sense, but I understand it now, because we did get a brand new tag, TURLES Crusher Core, and it would have been nice to boost that tag specifically, but at the same time, I significantly doubt that we're gonna get frequent additions to that tag like that, right? So it makes sense to generalize it, because the entirety of the TURLES Crusher Core is on sagas from the movie, so just boosting that episode in general would boost that unit alongside giving it more versatility with other characters. So I take back what I was originally thinking. I think this is okay. Now we have the Ultra ability. If this character is the leader, applies the following effects to self when battle starts. Plus 30% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Plus 30% to key recovery cannot be cancelled. If this character is not the leader, applies the following effects to self per episode sagas from the movie's battle support member when battle starts. Plus 5% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Plus 5% to key recovery cannot be cancelled. Up to 3 support members will be counted. We already know how Ultra abilities work. Moving on. So we have Strike, Impact, 10% chance to reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1 on hit. Blast armor when charging forward. So that's, oh boy. Okay, so he has a potential chance of, knocking down a Dragon Ball. So what, a 1 in 10 chance of being able to knock down a Dragon Ball on hit using strike arts, on top of having blast armor. So relatively straightforward strike arts, so that's not bad. And then blast, impact, 10% chance to reduce enemies' Dragon Balls by 1 on hit. Okay, so he has all he has a high probability of landing or knocking down the opponent's Dragon Balls by using either Strike or Blast. So yeah, you really want to be careful when you get attacked by Turles, because for all you know, you could have Rising Rush, and by the end of the combo, you could have no Dragon Balls left. So yeah, you want to be careful about that. Special move. Deals massive impact damage. The following effects occur upon activation. Plus 30% to special move damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Seals enemies' special move arts. The sealed arts cannot be used for 3 timer counts. If unique gauge is at 20% or more, consumes 20% of this character's unique gauge and applies the following effects to self upon activation. Applies attribute upgrade, minus 30% to enemies' sustained damage cut effects for 3 timer counts, cannot be cancelled. Nullifies unfavorable element factors for 3 timer counts. Blast armor when charging forward. Okay, so of course, Ultra Unit, he's gonna have unique gauge. It's a consumable unique gauge as well, so yeah, I mean, being able to knock down their sustained damage cut effects is good, right? Being able to nullify element factors is good, but okay, I'm assuming that this is a thing that can be utilized multiple times, seeing that it only takes 20% from 20% or more. So I guess like as the battle goes on, it could end up being an ability that's really powerful. But on top of that, you know, you also boost your special move damage just in general, and you seal their special move, which is good. So yeah, we'll have to see how that works when we actually get our hands on the unit. And then we have the special skill. Randomly draws 1 new card, restores own key by 30, plus 20% to damage inflicted for 15 timer counts, reduces enemy key by 20, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, minus 1 arts card draw speed level for 10 timer counts. If unique gauge is at 20% or more, consumes 20% of this character's unique gauge and applies the following effects to self upon activation. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level for 10 timer counts, cannot be stacked. Applies attribute upgrade, shortens substitution count by 3, cannot be stacked. Effects reset after character switch, cancels attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. Okay, so I think that's the ability where Turles is really going to be able to shine. You're going to want to make sure that you get your gauge as full as possible, and then afterwards pop as many special skills as you can, because that's when you get the card draw speed up. That's when you're able to shorten your sub counts. That's like when you're able to get like the damage boost, like, and you also sabotage the opponent as well by lowering their arts card draw speed. So I think the special skill is where this unit is really going to shine. But I mean, obviously that's before we check out the ultimate. But so far, the unique gauge, fill it up as much as you can, and then from there pop your special skill. Of course, if you have your special move, use it as well, because your special move has blast armor. But yeah, your special skill is probably what you're gonna want to use when it comes down to Turles. And then we have his ultimate attack. Deals supreme impact damage. Applies the following effects to self upon activation. Plus 20% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts. Nullifies enemies, restores health when he reaches 0 effects when this character attacks for 3 timer counts. If unique gauge is at 20% or more, consumes 20% of this character's unique gauge and the following effects occur upon activation. Plus 30% to ultimate damage inflicted for 3 timer counts, cannot be cancelled. Plus 20% to damage inflicted by allies for 30 timer counts. Shortens allies' substitution counts by 10. Blast armor when charging forward. So when it comes down to Turles, he has blast armor on pretty much everything. Obviously apart from the special skill because it's a power-up. But yeah, he has blast armor on everything. So in neutral, this unit is going to be powerful. So you want to be careful of that. But yeah, the unique gauge is tied with the special move, your special skill, and your ultimate attack. So you want to make sure that you use it accordingly. But I do think that with the ultimate attack, it's upon activation that you get the ultimate damage up, and you also get the endurance nullification as well. So even if you miss your ult and then you decide that you want to maybe land a strike arts or a special move, or maybe you have Rising Rush, you just throw it out against you that has endurance that also doesn't cancel buff effects, then you should be able to wipe them out if you land the decisive blow. So that's good. And not only that, if your unique gauge is at 20% or more, your ultimate attack becomes even stronger. So that's good. On top of you buffing your allies and shortening their sub counts by 10. And again, this is upon activation. You don't have to land the ult, you just have to use it. That's it. So maybe it's in a dire situation where you gotta get Turles out of there, right? Maybe your Vanish is gone, you have your ult, and then you throw it out, right? The moment you throw out the ult, your team sub counts go down by 10, which more often than not will allow you to swap anybody back in. So maybe once, like, let's say the opponent has Vanish, they vanish out of the way of your ult, and then they pop Rush, you can swap a character in. And hopefully that character has either Endurance or Revival. So, again, I see some solid uses for this. So, again, we'll have to wait and see once we actually get our hands on the character. And then we have the main ability. Draw the ultimate arts card, Meteor Burst, next. Restores own health by 25% and ki by 30. Restores own vanishing gauge by 100%. Applies attribute upgrade, minus 20% to enemies' sustained damage cut effects to self for 20 timer counts. Requirements, 25 timer counts must elapse. So that actually works better when it comes down to his ult, right? Because you can miss your ult and then just vanish immediately. So that's good because you get your entire vanishing gauge back. So you kind of want to save your main ability for dire scenarios where you really need to make sure you don't get rushed. I mean, that's just one scenario, anything can happen, but again, you want to make sure that you save your main ability for more dire situations. And then of course you also heal, you get ki, and you cripple the opponent. So, well, not cripple the opponent, you get the buff minus 20% to enemy sustained damage cut effects. So, solid main ability, solid main ability. Now, unique ability 1, applies the following effects to self when battle starts. Charges unique gauge by 70%, plus 180% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Reduces damage received by 70%, cannot be cancelled. Plus 70% to ki recovery, cannot be cancelled. Increases arts card draw speed by 1 level, cannot be cancelled. Minus 10 to special move arts cost, cannot be cancelled. Reduces impact, explode, and pierce damage received by 10%, cannot be cancelled. Wow, okay. So you start off being able to hit hard. You start off being able to reduce damage by a good amount. Your ki recovery is pretty much all the way up. You get a guaranteed card draw speed buff that can't be canceled. Your special move is at 40 instead of 50, so that's really good. And your unique gauge is at this is starting to sound much better, but right now it's looking pretty solid. We'll see. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Draw a special arts card next, activates twice. Restores own ki by 30, plus 40% to damage inflicted, cannot be cancelled, activates once. Randomly destroys one enemy card. Also, plus 50% to own unique gauge charge rate. If there is a defeated battle member, cannot be cancelled, activates once. So he does have an effect where if a teammate dies, he gets a buff, so that's good. We don't know if he'll have last man standing buffs, but this is kind of like mid-man standing buff. Anyway, so at the very least though, when you enter the battlefield, you get a special arts card next, which is good because again, you can pop that, and if your gauge is at 20%, you get all sorts of buffs, and you also get enough ki to use the special skill. So that's good, and you get a damage buff. So, not bad. The following effects occur every time this character uses a strike or blast arts card. Consumes 20% of own unique gauge if it's at 20% or more. Activates once. Activation count resets after character switch or after this character's special action that activates when health reaches 0 has been activated. Oh lord, this unit has endurance. Okay, yeah, let me finish this up. Plus 15% to damage inflicted for 10 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, minus 10% to health restoration for 15 timer counts. Okay, so back to me losing my mind. This unit has endurance. Oh boy, so that's... we have gotten 3 Sagas from the Movies units, as far as I recall, that all have endurance ever since the start of the anniversary. Because what we had, Super Saiyan God Goku. Oh wait, no. Was that the movie version? I'm pretty sure that was the movie version. But he has endurance. We also did get, I believe it was Cacao, and he has endurance. And now we have Ultra Turles, and he has endurance. And they all work on Sagas from the Movies. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But that aside, so when you use your strike or blast, you do actually draw from your gauge. So, I mean, it says it activates once, but then it also says every time it happens. So I don't, maybe the wording is weird or maybe I'm understanding it wrong, but all in all though, you will be using your gauge when you use strike or blast. So you want to be mindful of that, especially if you're trying to utilize your special move, your ultimate attack, or special skills, whatever the case may be. But again, this character has endurance. So yeah, that's good. All right, moving on. The following effects occur every time when hit with an enemy's arts attack while this character is on the battlefield. Consumes 20% of own unique gauge. If it's at 20% or more, activates once. Activation count resets after character switch or after this character's special action that activates when health reaches 0 has been activated. Restores own health by 3%. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade plus 10% to damage received for 15 timer counts. So pretty much, if this unit exists, he's drawing from the unique gauge. That's pretty much what it is. Everything you do revolves around that unique gauge. So although I don't think it's told us yet, unless I glanced over it, on how to actually build the gauge. So I hope building the gauge won't be tedious, but we'll see. And then finally, unique ability 2. Knocks enemy back to long range if a cover change is performed against their strike arts attack. Activates during assists, comboable arts, special move arts. So again, he has strike cover. You can follow up with your special move. The following effects occur when changing cover. Consumes 20% of own unique gauge if it's at 20% or more. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade. Minus 10% to strike and blast arts power for 10 timer counts. Okay, I don't know how to feel about this unique gauge anymore because there doesn't seem to be a way of really maintaining it because everything you do draws from it. So I don't even know if you can really utilize it defensively. I mean, it's practically just saying spend the gauge. So like, again, like there's benefits to using it, but you know, kind of holding on to the gauge is not bad. But in TURLES' case, you don't really have much of an option. Everything you do draws from the gauge. So again, we'll have to see how that works when the unit drops. Anyway, so let's see. Remain undefeated and the following effects occur when own health reaches 0, activates once. Oh god, randomly draws at most 4 new cards when you have 3 or fewer cards. Restores own health by 70% and ki by 100. Charges own unique gauge by 100%. Plus 25% to damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Plus 20% to strike and blast arts damage inflicted cannot be cancelled. Minus 5 to own arts costs cannot be cancelled. Applies buff effect. Nullify enemies destroy card effects to self for 20 timer counts. Apply buff effect. Nullify enemies reduce key effects to self for 20 timer counts. Nullifies own unfavorable element factors for damage sustained, cannot be cancelled. Plus 15% to damage inflicted by allies, cannot be cancelled. Reduces enemy ki by 100. Reduces enemy vanishing gauge to 0. Seals enemies rising rush for 5 timer counts. Inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade. Plus 50 to all arts costs for 3. Oh, what is happening here? For 3 timer counts. Seals all enemies main abilities for 5 timer counts. What? This cannot be activated by enemy self-destruct attack. This effect will not activate in hyperdimensional co-op or full power battle. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's an ultra ability right there. And it doesn't have anything to do with the gauge. Quite literally, from what I'm understanding, this unit gets all like the tools that he needs after Undefeatable executes, because originally I thought that he was gonna have endurance. No, he has something better. He has like not, well, it's undefeatable. Some units have like indestructible and stuff. Yeah, just think of it. Remain undefeated and the following effects occur when health reaches 0. Like, just knowing that he has this effect is going to be crazy, right? Because this is endurance, but significantly better. So, but again, like, you get a full hand of cards. You restore your health by 70% and your ki by 100, so you can use literally anything, apart from enemies trying to, if they have abilities that cripple your ki and health and stuff. Your unique gauge charges by 100. You get damage buffs. Your arts cost gets knocked down. You nullify a ton of things, including element factor for damage sustained. You seal your enemy's rush. You reduce their ki by 100, and you reduce their vanishing gauge to 0. That's incredible. And you raise all of their arts costs by 50, which means that after you get out of the undefeated state, they are a sitting duck. They are a sitting duck. Like, even if they swap out to somebody else, their arts costs are still gonna be up by 50. So quite literally, they can attack you once, and that's about it. Even if they pop their main ability, it's not going to help. So that's crazy. Wow, that's a really good ability. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Gradually charges own unique gauge over time while this character is on the battlefield or on standby. There we go. Because I was wondering why we didn't see how the unique gauge actually charges. Now we saw. So as long as he exists on the battlefield, he's good. So there's that. The following effects occur every time this character consumes unique gauge. Restores own health by 10. Effect will not activate if own health reaches 0 after an enemy attack. Restores own ki by 30. Applies buff effect. Nullifies enemy special actions that activate when changing cover to self for 10 timer counts. Reduces enemy ki by 20. Cancels own attribute downgrades if own remaining health is 30% or below after enemy attack is over. Okay, so again, unique gauge, just keep Turles on the field and it will build up over time. How fast it'll build, we don't know. But it builds while he's on the battlefield. And you also get health restoration when your gauge is activated. And since you activate it by pretty much existing, you'll have a lot of opportunities of being able to recover health with this unit being on the field. So it sounds like he has really good survivability, which is going to be pretty cool to experience, I should say. And also you are able to nullify a cover change, which is fantastic because obviously you want to make sure that you're able to nullify cover change. It's too good of an ability not to have. But yeah, that is all the details on Ultra Turles. I am curious to see how he's going to function once we actually get our hands on the unit, but I do want to know what you guys think about Ultra Turles in the comment section below. But with that being said, I'm Itakuba, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.